Hello, and welcome to Facilitation Tips for Virtual Meetings and Classes. My name is Judith Roberts. Virtual meetings and trainings are becoming more prevalent in academic libraries as issues related to limited resources such as time and funds and improved technology influence delivery formats. In a virtual event, the presenter uses a web conference tool to deliver information to an audience. Today's topics are focused on preparing yourself to facilitate a virtual event. There are things that you will want to do before, during, and after the event to make it a successful one. Pre-session. Create an outline of your presentation. If this is a new experience for you, a good suggestion is that you write a script that you will use during your presentation. Now, you do not have to read the script verbatim. As a matter of fact, we recommend that you do not, but it certainly will help to guide the flow of the presentation and your conversation. Rehearsal. Rehearse your presentation at least a couple of times before the event. Know your material well and know where and how you will transition from one topic to the other. These are crucial times when the learner, if you're teaching a subject, can get lost. So make your transitions smooth. Host. Ask someone on your team to help you host the event. The host is the person who handles the technical or the logistical aspects of the session. And he or she will free you up so that you can concentrate on your role as the presenter, your role as the virtual trainer. The host should log on and enter the virtual room at least 30 minutes before the session's start time. Also, the host can do a quick orientation if the audience is unfamiliar with the format. Before the session, preload your content into the web conference tool so that you'll have them handy. So we're talking about if you have a PowerPoint presentation, if you have videos or a clip or a graph or a chart that you want to show, you can load them in advance. Lobby. Some virtual conference tools, such as Adobe Connect, has a lobby feature, and this is where you can put little activities, little things to engage folks who might arrive early. So I call them icebreakers. So you put them in 10 or 15 minutes before the session, and they'll help to keep people engaged, aware, kind of awake. So these are some examples. You can do a welcome slide, you can play music, you could do a short video, you could do a PowerPoint presentation, 1 or 2 pages that just loop around and keep people engaged. A lot of people use that as a promotional piece. Let me give you an example of a loop presentation with music. So there you have it, a loop presentation. So starting the session, the host should start the session on time, give a general welcome to the audience, check for connectivity, to ensure that folks know what to do if they are having difficulty connecting. Do an audio check, ensure that everybody can hear. And if going to record your session, the host is a person who should click that record button for you and start the presentation. I cannot tell you how many times someone is in the middle of their presentation and they realize that they have not hit the record button and all of that information is gone. At the start of your session, once you take over, it's good policy for you to reintroduce yourself or introduce yourself and give a personal welcome. So we want to give the big picture to folks. We want to tell them what to expect. And one way you can do that is through an advanced organizer or an agenda. It gives them a kind of roadmap of where they're going. And if you're teaching, of course, you want to present your learning objectives. Some things to consider. Is the audience familiar with the online environment? I think oftentimes we assume that our audience know more than they do, and they may not be familiar with the interface. So you want to take a brief moment, maybe just a minute or so, to point out certain features. The chat box, how to raise their hand, how to mute themselves, and to check if the audio is working for them. So, in presenting virtually, it is imperative that we structure our presentation and that we have a clear introduction, a clear body, and a clear conclusion. Because the audience is not face-to-face with you, these aspects become even more important than when they are face-to-face with you. So, some other considerations. You want to engage the audience. So one way to do that is to add activities. You can use a poll at the beginning to poll the audience, and then you can show them the results in real time. Use the chat. Have people ask questions by typing their questions into the chat box. These are just some ways that you can engage your audience. Okay, time allocation is important. Break up the presentation. Make sure that you have left time for question and answers. It's recommended that a quarter of the time should be for that, and then 3/4 of the time should be devoted to content and activities. Okay, and now we get to the end. So you want to summarize and wrap up the session. Summarize by covering summarize by going over what you've covered, and then you want to give some next steps, some pointers about where they can find additional information, what they should do next, and so on and so forth. Now, after the session, it's very important that you keep the momentum going, and you can do that by providing additional information via LibGuides or a wiki or a blog. And be sure to let people know what you expect of them to do post-session. Okay, so we have come to the end. In this session, we discussed ways to prepare yourself for a virtual event. There are things you do before, during, and after to ensure a successful meeting or successful virtual learning event. Now, I want to pause here. Please take a few minutes to type any questions that you might have in the chat box. We'll give a minute or so. Okay. And if there are any additional questions, please contact me. My name is Judith Roberts, and you can reach me via email, judithroberts@ufl.edu.